Checking out a single-story house. It's got 2 layers of shingles. You can see a couple spots where we got some blistering going on right up here, and then all through here on the front edge. They've had some ice dams in the past. There's some blistering going on from the shingles right at the top. You can start to see on that bottom profile all through here. It's the original shingle. And then above that, you can start to see how it's starting to cascade the water and blister. So what's happening is the water's getting stuck up underneath here in the winter time, and then it's starting to erode the shingle. That's why it's starting to give that bowed effect to it and curling up like that. You can tell that's definitely from water damage, because in this area you can see how much shade it's on. We did some thermal images, and what we could see is this side of the roof line way more affected by the heat. Pretty straightforward, obviously. It's getting a lot more sunlight during the day, so that's no surprise. These areas back here, nothing really too much of a concern, except for just, looks like a lot of this was reused, tarred in kind of a thing. Vent boot, hard to tell if there's anything coming around that at all. Same kind of thing. You can see a little bit of curling going on the backside here. Same type of thing, pretty prevalent around the eaves. And the reason for that is, like I was saying, like we already know, this is where our snow and our ice is building up. Customers been dealing with that and having that affect the eaves pretty good. We've got a little bath flapper fan there. We've got some real good deterioration, like we can see right down through here, where the fiberglass is just completely gone. There's a hole right through the shingle right here, so there's a lot going, definitely water shedding into that cavity. Throughout the backside of the roof over here, just some warping going on, some issues with the decking. Definitely gonna wanna do an attic inspection if the customer decides they wanna move forward. One other thing we can see right off the bat is we've got staples going on. Those are prevalent in a lot of different areas, and we're starting to see those staples starting to pop. This side of the roof, didn't see as many. There's another one right here, a couple more, a little bit of deterioration. But over here, where the sun's really starting to bake it, this is where you're starting to really see it, is over the garage, which is a little bit different. Usually you want to see it in conditioned areas as opposed to unconditioned areas. Not a huge surprise, but definitely disappointing to see. So this again shows nails are just popping right up and through. There's a bad one down here. Yeah. This one's just gone. There's an actual hole all the way through the shingle, all through there. So from that standpoint, it's definitely something that we're gonna want to talk about. Timeline, what the customer's thoughts are on getting things taken care of. Pipe boot missing, no big deal there. Do a zip boat right there. This tie-in right here is not going to be too much of an issue, so we're going to want to make sure that this is counter flashed down through here. This piece of fascia is probably going to wind up getting replaced. We'll do the exact same thing with a wrap. If we can get it pulled up and counter flashed underneath, great. But the transition point actually looks pretty decent. Customers brought up the fact the metal's still in good shape. Totally agree. It's an exposed fastener system, but it still does look like it's in good shape. I don't see any issues here with the tie-in. Hasn't experienced any leaking or anything like that. So from that standpoint, we should be in pretty good shape. Outside of that, like I said, just the staple pops that we're starting to see in quite a few different areas. Definitely the main concern is vinyl siding. So getting some counter flashing in around here shouldn't be too difficult. And then, like I said, we're starting to see how much these staples are really starting to raise and lower. They're almost starting to fall out in some places. So we'll talk to the customer a little bit about some options. And then, like I said, we'll definitely want to do an attic inspection just to make sure we get some idea of if we need additional wood, what that looks like, or if this course of shingles is just getting torn up because of the underlayment or the lack thereof underneath it.